I love this country.
But look at this. Dan Bongino says if you don't want tear gas in your face, then don't storm the border.
And you could see in some of those images, you could see some of the migrants throwing rocks and projectiles at the Border Patrol. After that, they used pepper spray and they used tear gas, and there has been great media outrage over it. But when you look at the numbers and the number of times that the Customs and Border Patrol during the Obama administration used similar things, similar tactics, it is astounding. 26 times in 2012, 27 times in 13, 15 in 14, 8 in 15, and 3 times in 2016.
So more than 80 times.
Yeah, 80 times. And then over the weekend, they used it to push back what they refer to as assaultive migrants on Sunday. All right, so they've used this tactic for years, right? And yet, when you look at Media Research Center did coverage of the caravan over the last couple of days, how many times did they mention the fact that they used them during the Obama administration? 0 on the nightly newses. So
President Trump is engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on a free press in our history. He has done everything he can to delegitimize the media since becoming president.
Lies about everything. I mean,
Tear gas fired by U.S. border officials sent dozens of migrants running back into Tijuana. Dozens broke through the U.S. Mexico fence near the port of entry Sunday, resulting in a clash with border officials.
This was clearly a riot of hundreds of angry migrants, and border agents were well within their authority to use tear gas. And to those pointing out that some children got tear gassed as well, there's an easy solution to that, pointed out by the Washington Examiner. Don't bring your kids to a border riot. Simply put, this situation is not unprecedented, and neither is the border security's use of non-lethal chemicals as a deterrent. On November 25th, 2013, under President Obama, virtually the same thing happened. More than 100 migrants stormed the US border and security shot at them with pepper spray balls. But rather than cries of it being an unprecedented war crime, no major news outlet even mentioned it. And Obama gave a speech praising his own immigration policies on the very day it happened.
A path that includes passing a background check and learning English and paying taxes and a penalty and getting in line behind everyone trying to come here the right way.
This language, enemy of the people, because if you look at that term historically, it is just basic full-on dictator speak. I mean, it was used by Hitler, it was used by Stalin, it was used initially by Nero.
They're saying things like CNN sucks, go home, and fake news. Wolf, obviously, all of those things are false.
This idea that the press is not just covering him unfairly in his eyes, but that he actually sees us as the enemy. There is a strategy to this for some people inside the White House. They feel like Trump supporters already look skeptically on the media.
Mr. President, will you stop calling us the enemy of the people, sir?
The press, the enemy of the people, from early on in his administration.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
To just this week.
You know, the enemy of the people, I call them.
And the suggestion somehow that one of the bedrocks of our democracy, which is freedom of the press, one of the bedrocks of our Constitution, for this president to say that the news media, I mean, he tries to couch it in fake news media, are the enemy of the people. I think we should all be really terrified of that, because he says it over and over and over again. And I think, from what you're saying, it's been effective. If you still have 60-something% of people backing him up, I mean, why are we not more afraid?
Absolutely nothing. He is going back to the formula that won him the Electoral College: fear and loathing and lying about people trying to enter the United States on our southern border in search of the jobs that American citizens won't do.
Lies about everything. I mean,
our country's biggest enemy is the fake news so easily promulgated by fools. A pretty outrageous tweet.
It is outrageous. I mean, it's really not worth a lot of comment. It's obviously ridiculous. This president spends more time consuming news and information that he calls fake And what he really wants is to be seen as legitimate by these news sources, especially those that he attacks the most. So this is just using the media again as a foil to try to whip up his supporters.
Please return to your home. Observers have criticized police response to protests like the ones in Ferguson, Missouri, as overly aggressive.
They started throwing tear gas and shooting rubber bullets at all the protesters.
A report to be released later Monday will encourage law enforcement to embrace a guardian rather than a warrior mindset to build trust.
The United States of America has never in its history been threatened in any way by unarmed men, women, and children approaching our southern border.
These raging lunatics who think that they have a right to bypass all our laws here in the United States to be here, and they think it's okay to hurl deadly rocks at our agents when they don't just let them in. And apparently, because our agents were supposed to just stand down and take it while men used life-threatening force against them. Look at these people. I mean, they're just refugees trying to seek a better life. Can't you see? Okay, really? Refugees? Because this is sure a strange way to act if you're in such danger that you are desperate to have somebody, anybody, open up their doors for you for safety. That's weird, right?
Lies about everything.
I mean, the photographer who took a picture along the Mexico border that appeared on the front pages of newspapers around the world is now sharing the story behind this picture. We tracked down the Reuters photographer. His name is Kim Young-hoon, who took the picture of a mother and her two daughters running away from a smoking tear gas canister on Sunday near the U.S. Mexico border.
They can make anything bad because they are the